So, last week I was in Iceland, and as you probably know since you're watching these videos, that when arriving in Iceland you need to be tested for the new coronavirus that was quite popular in the news in the last couple of months. And since I didn't really find any information on the internet about how exactly the process is, what exactly the process is, and I didn't really know what to expect, I thought I was gonna make this video and tell you a little bit about my experiences on arrival in Iceland, about the corona test itself, and just anything related to it, so that if you're going to Iceland the next time, you know what to expect. Quick information before we're gonna start. This video is based on a blog post I posted on my website, so if you're more into reading than watching a video, then check out the link in the description. Also, if you're interested in more videos from Iceland, I'm going to be uploading a couple in the next few weeks. So if you're into that, please hit subscribe. I'd really appreciate that. And if you find any useful information in this video, I'd appreciate a thumbs up as well. But now let's get into the video. So it all starts even before you board your flight. A couple of days before I flew to Iceland, I got an email from Iceland Air, which was the airline I was flying, and in that email was a link to the website of the Icelandic Border Protection, and they asked me to fill out a form. In that form you need to provide your personal information, so what's your name, your nationality, where you're coming from, but also where you're going to stay in Iceland for the first 4 nights. They want to know the first 4 nights, your accommodation. So be sure to have the address ready, as well as the hotel name or wherever you're staying. They want to have both. If it's an Airbnb, you're only gonna need the... There was a bird flying against the window, but I think he's fine. Okay, so where was I? Right, so if you're staying in an Airbnb, you're only gonna need the address. Okay. Also, you're gonna need to choose between a 14-day quarantine or the corona test. So if you didn't know that, when arriving in Iceland you can actually choose. You don't have to make the test. You can also choose to go into a 14-day quarantine, which for me was not an option because I was only planning on staying for 7 days. So I had to do the test. Then if you filled out the form, you're going to receive a confirmation email, and in that email there is a PDF attached to it, where you can find a barcode. Then once you arrive in Iceland, they're gonna ask you to show them your barcode. So if you do not have an internet connection in Iceland, which if you're from Europe you should, because it's part of the, I don't even know, but you know, almost every country in the European Union has like this common internet thing, although Iceland is not in the EU. I don't know, but basically for me, I'm a German, I have a German SIM card, so I also have internet in Iceland. If you're from the United States, for example, you will probably not have internet in Iceland. What I'm saying is, be sure to have your barcode, which you can find on in your confirmation email. Be sure to have it ready at the airport so that they can check it and guide you into the right line, so either for quarantine or for the corona test. Then you will need to show them the code so they can scan it when testing you. So when you're in the right line, you need to wait for a little bit until it's your turn, and there are actually a couple of testing stations next to each other. I think they were 10, and they're just gonna show you to which one you have to go. It's one big line for all of them, and then in my case there was a lady standing in the front showing me and everyone else where we had to go. I was in testing station 2, if you want to know, but they were all the same, so don't think that's anything special to be in testing station 2 or 1 or whatever. So then I got in. There were 2 friendly staff who were they were really friendly, so if that's something you're worried about, don't be. They were pretty nice. They asked me to scan the code on their scanner, so I put the code in it, and they asked me if all the information was correct. I said yes, and then they asked me to sit down. Now I was asked to sit down because I'm really tall. I talked to my friends after that and they were all standing, but when I came in, they asked me to sit down on a chair, which was pretty good for me, to be honest, because I don't think that I would have been able to keep standing during the test. Why? So the way the test works is they get a wooden stick. It actually felt like wood, but I don't think it is actually wood. I'm not sure. Yeah, they take one, put it in your mouth, and actually pretty deep in your throat, which is for some people probably really uncomfortable. For me it was fine. So it's just quick, and they get your whatever you call the, let me actually just check how it's called. Your saliva, says my translator. I've never heard that word before, but probably is correct. Yeah, then put the stick away in like a plastic tube. Get another stick, and this one's going into your nose, so they're gonna do both your mouth and your nose. When that one for me was extremely uncomfortable. It didn't hurt, but it was a really uncomfortable feeling. And after the test, I couldn't feel like this area for maybe like an hour or two. Now, I don't want to scare any of you of the test, because it was not extremely painful or anything. It was just not for me. But I mean, I could go to Iceland for a week and just for I could go to Iceland for a week, so the test was totally fine. And yeah, that's the whole test. So one stick in your mouth, one stick in your nose. And then after that, the corona testing station was in front of the passport control, which we didn't actually need because we were coming from Germany. Our flight was from Frankfurt to Reykjavik, so both in the Schengen area. Somehow they did make us walk through passport control. I don't know why. Maybe because they only have this one corona testing station at the whole airport. So yeah, but they didn't really care about our passports and IDs. So at the passport control, they gave us a flyer. I'm not sure if I still have it. But the flyer basically said what rules there are in relation to the virus in Iceland. If we have to wear a mask, which was not the case, so you don't have to wear a mask in Iceland. Like anywhere, there wasn't any person wearing a mask in Iceland except for the airport. There was an obligation. And the flyer also said what we were supposed to do or not supposed to do in case we were positive or negative, and what we were allowed to do or not allowed to do before we get the results. So what the flyer basically said, since I don't have it here anymore, I'm just gonna read what I wrote in my blog post. So again, if you're more into reading than writing, check out the blog post. That didn't make any sense if you're more into reading than watching videos, which, yeah, that's what I mean. So I'm just gonna summarize it real quick. And I'm also gonna show you the part of the blog post here, so you don't have to watch me reading, but you can read along. So to summarize it real quick, as long as you've not received your results, stay at home and avoid close contact with other people. Wash your hands regularly and avoid public transport. Have your phone switched on at all times for the function of the tracing app Reckoning C19. And that's actually a pretty good point. So there's an app called Reckoning C19. And in case you're tested positive, they can actually track you. So you're asked to download it. I think it's actually an obligation, so you have to download it when you're in Iceland. Make sure to have some free storage space on your phone to be able to download this app in case you're tested positive. Have your phone switched on at all times for the function of the tracing app C19, and to be able to receive calls or messages on the results of the COVID-19 test. So the way you get the results, or the way I got the results, is actually via SMS. I got a message on my phone saying, let me just actually tell you what it said. So right here, this is the message, and it says, "You've not been diagnosed with COVID-19. Please help us trace COVID-19 by downloading the app." So yeah, there's this again. Download the app. Be sure to have storage space on your phone to be able to help them trace the virus. If you're positive, and this is actually a pretty surprising one in my opinion, it says, "Avoid all contacts with others and go into isolation until further tests have been done. You will receive a phone call from the COVID outpatient ward of the National Hospital, and you will be invited to a consultation as to whether you're infectious and need to stay in isolation for 14 days, or whether you're free to continue your travels with appropriate caution," which is to me extremely unexpected. I thought in case you're positive, you just need to isolate yourself and that's it. But apparently, there's even a chance that you can continue your travels. It says with appropriate caution. I don't know what that means, but so if you're ill but cannot pass on the virus to other people, you can apparently still go to Iceland and yeah, continue your travels. And that's basically it. If you've been tested for COVID-19 as well, maybe even in Iceland, share your experiences in the comments and tell me what you think. If you're into more Iceland videos, stay tuned for these videos. They'll be coming in the next couple of weeks, so subscribe for them. And I would say see you in the next videos, and have a great day.